The myth of Metis, the forgotten first wife of Zeus, whose story reveals one of the most profound truths about wisdom, power, and the voice inside your head. Before Hera's jealous rages and dramatic confrontations, before the countless affairs and divine dramas, there was Metis. Her name literally translates to wisdom, skill, and crafty counsel. She was an Oceanid, one of the 3,000 daughters born to the titans Oceanus and Tethys, who ruled over the world's waters. Among thousands of sisters, Metis stood apart. While others embodied rivers, springs, and seas, she personified something far more powerful: pure intellect. Ancient Greece revered wisdom as a divine force. In their worldview, intelligence wasn't just a human trait, but a cosmic principle that could shape destiny itself. And Metis embodied this principle perfectly. She wasn't just clever. She was wisdom incarnate, the goddess who could see all angles, anticipate every move, and craft solutions to impossible problems. Here's what makes her story remarkable. Without Metis, the Olympian gods would never have existed. When Zeus began his rebellion against his father Cronus, he faced an impossible challenge. Cronus had swallowed all his children whole, imprisoning them in his belly. How do you defeat a titan who has consumed your entire family? You need more than strength. You need strategy. Metis provided that strategy. She crafted a magical potion, a mixture so powerful it would force Cronus to vomit up everything he'd consumed. Zeus delivered this potion to his father, and one by one his siblings emerged: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. The Olympian revolution began because of Metis' wisdom. She was the architect of the new divine order. Naturally, Zeus fell in love with her. How could he not? She was brilliant, essential, and had made his entire reign possible. They married, and Metis became pregnant. Everything seemed perfect for the new king of the gods. But then came the prophecy. The fates revealed a terrifying truth. Metis would bear 2 children. The first would be a daughter equal to Zeus in wisdom and strength. The second would be a son who would overthrow Zeus and become the new king of the cosmos. Sound familiar? Zeus's grandfather Uranos was overthrown by his son Cronus. Cronus was overthrown by his son Zeus. The pattern seemed destined to continue. Zeus faced a choice. He could accept fate and eventually lose everything, or he could act. But unlike his father, who simply swallowed his children, Zeus chose a different approach. He would eliminate the threat at its source. He would swallow Metis herself. But you cannot simply force a goddess of wisdom to disappear. Metis was too clever for direct confrontation. So Zeus used cunning against cunning. He challenged her to a game, a contest of shape-shifting abilities. They transformed into various creatures, each trying to outdo the other. Finally, Zeus challenged her to become something impossibly small. Could she transform into a tiny fly? Some versions say a drop of water. Metis, confident in her abilities, accepted the challenge. The moment she transformed, Zeus swallowed her whole. The goddess of wisdom vanished into the king of the gods. Metis was gone. Or was she? Here's where the myth becomes profound. Wisdom cannot be destroyed, it can only be integrated. Inside Zeus, Metis remained alive and conscious. She became his internal counsel, his inner voice. When ancient Greeks called Zeus the counselor, they were acknowledging this truth. His wisdom wasn't originally his own. It came from Metis, now literally part of him. But Metis was still pregnant. Inside Zeus's head, she began preparing for her daughter's birth. She forged a helmet, crafted armor, wove a robe. The sound of her hammering echoed inside Zeus's skull. The king of the gods developed a splitting headache so severe he couldn't think or function. Finally, Zeus called for help. Hephaestus, the divine blacksmith, took his axe and split Zeus's skull open. From that opening, Athena emerged. She sprang forth, fully grown, fully armed, shouting a war cry that shook the heavens. The goddess of strategic warfare and wisdom was born not from a womb, but from thought itself. Think about the symbolism here. Metis represents premeditated thought, the planning stage before action. Athena represents wisdom in action, strategy executed perfectly. By swallowing Metis, Zeus didn't destroy wisdom. He internalized it, made it part of his very being. And from that internalized wisdom came Athena, the ultimate expression of intelligence applied to the world. The ancient Greeks understood something we often forget today. Your deepest wisdom isn't external. It's not something you find outside yourself. It's already within you, waiting to be acknowledged and heard. When you silence your intuition, when you suppress your intelligence, when you ignore that inner voice, you're repeating Zeus's mistake. You're trying to swallow your own Metis. Metis teaches us that true power comes from integrating wisdom, not fearing it. Don't be afraid of your own mind. Arm it, trust it, and let it guide you forward.